Everybody, so let's stand if we'll have a pledge and a prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for your Holy Spirit that gives us wisdom and knowledge to make decisions for your city, that you'll be proven, that you will get the praise in Jesus Christ's name.
Amen.
Call roll. Alderman Elizabeth will not be here this evening. Alderman Lightfoot.
Here.
Alderman Anthony. Here. Alderman Duggar.
Here.
Alderman Goff.
Here.
Alderman Mahoney. We have a quorum.
Okay, we're gonna take this out of order a little bit tonight. We're waiting on an engineer to arrive, so what we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and do number one, the Water Department Financial Report. Any questions?
Motion approved.
Second. Have a motion and second to approve the financials for the water department. All those in favor? Any opposed?
Second, I'm gonna jump down and we're gonna allow our park director, Justin Thomas, if he has anything to report. He needs to be somewhere else, so allow him to go ahead and speak.
Basically just, we had a good turnout for signups. We have our opening day next Monday. We're gonna have the high school baseball softball team there. We'll introduce them, introduce all 20 of our baseball and softball teams, introduce every kid. First Security Bank has agreed to feed all the players. Got cone ice coming. We're doing door prizes, all that good stuff for all the kids, for kids to win and stuff. Season starts Tuesday, the 5th. We'll run through June 9th, probably-ish. Other than that, everything is going pretty good. Park's in good shape, ready to go. We'll be opening the pool soon. May 28th will be the opening day of the city pool. Other than that, I guess that's about all. Only new news that I have.
Great, thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. On the door prizes, can we give away 10, 15 pool passes for some door prizes? Just something that we could throw in?
And I would, yeah.
The city can't, but whatever the pool passes are for 10, I'll sponsor that. That's good.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I'm
I
just
just didn't know
looking.
if we could do it or not.
You know, personally, we can't, but citywide we can, but I'll sponsor that.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, yeah, thank you. All right. And then I think shelter insurance is also, they're gonna help donate drinks for the opening ceremony. So that ought to have our food and drinks for roughly 300 participants. And then we're reaching out to all the other businesses in town to try to come up with gift cards and stuff, just so quite a few of the kids will win a, Sonic gift card, Taco Bell gift card, whatever, Walmart. So anybody knows anybody that wants to help, feel free to reach out to me this week. Good. Thank you.
We apologize, we had some guests and I need to acknowledge, we had Lisa Brown, who's a candidate for county judge. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Lisa Brown. I'm running for county judge. Lifelong White County resident. I worked in the judge's office for 17 years. As Lincoln's retiring, I'm hoping to fill his shoes.
And we have Karen Johnson, who's going to start the party.
I'm Carrie Gossett, and I have worked in White County government now for 23 plus years, 16 of those years in the circuit clerk's office. And I believe with my experience, my leadership skills, and my maturity, that I'm the right candidate for the job. The current clerk, she is retiring, and I would appreciate you considering me as mine.
glad to have you here. All right, Carol, we'll go back to your financials.
All right, let's set of minutes in the packet for the February meeting.
Motion to approve the February 28th minutes.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve the February 28th minutes. All those opposed? All those in favor? Any opposed? Your financials were in the paper, were in your packet. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the financials. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So it's time of the year where we have to do the final budget for the previous year. It's in your packet. And we did pretty good this year. I know Mike's gonna talk a little bit more about that. We did, budget's tight, money's tight. Department heads did really good about listening to me when I told them we couldn't afford something. So, they may not have liked it, but they listened. So any questions on the 2021 budget as presented?
Motion to accept.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is pass a resolution. Or pass a resolution, I'm sorry. So it'll be resolution 2022-02.
Motion to approve by title only.
Second.
It's a resolution to adopt the final budget for the year of 2021, appropriating money for each and every item of expenditures, providing for declaring an emergency or for other purposes. I need a motion to adopt the resolution as read.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll. Alderman Woods is absent. Alderman Lightfoot.
Yes.
Alderman Anthony.
Yes.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Goff.
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
All right, you're almost done with this. Okay. The new sales tax has come in. The 1/4% sales tax that was passed by our citizens. And so that money needs to be placed into a separate account. I'm gonna need permission to open that account. It's gonna be called the 125 sales tax account. So that's the fire money. So the amount that we got so far was 41,000, in case anybody's interested. That's what we got. That's how we have, we're gonna pay our new firemen, the 3 new firemen that we hired at the beginning of the year. We'll come out of that fund. So,
Motion to allow.
And second. Were you motion?
Yes.
Okay, now second.
okay, I have a motion and a second to open a new account. That account will be opened, I believe, with First Security. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, Vince, Mr. Justin's already talked about the ballpark. I did put a little thing in there about, we have 2 more events that are coming up. One is the Easter egg hunt. That will be on April the 9th. Harley's got a really great event laid out for us here. For those who do yoga, everybody bring your yoga mat. We're gonna have yoga from 8 to 9. And then we're gonna have 4 divisions for Easter egg hunting. We've got some beautiful eggs that have candy in them. She's gonna have some local vendors, so she can tell what the vendors are gonna be. And the Easter egg hunt starts for kids under the age of 6, starts at 9:30, it'll be from 9:30 to 11. For kids 6 to 12, it'll be from 11 to 12. And then the event's gonna end at noon. It's gonna be at 312 South First Street, which is known to us as the IDC property. So I'm excited. I know Alderman Goff and Mayor Robinson worked very hard to get that property. It was not an easy task, and we're gonna get to use it. So thank you, Mr. Nick and the street guys for getting that done and load up for her very nicely. So I'm excited about that. The next is gonna be the fishing derby on April the 23rd. We're partnering with Game and Fish. This is very exciting. First time we're gonna have an event out of the pond. It's gonna be a free event. We'll have door prizes, for the first 75 people. The event's gonna be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Extremely friendly, free giveaways. Bring your lawn chairs. First come, first serve. We're gonna have some free house screenings. And I believe, yes, we're gonna have free hot dogs provided by Centennial Bank. I'm sure we'll have water or something else out there too, probably sodas maybe. So if you like to fish, or if you don't like to fish and you just want to do something fun, come on out on April the 23rd. And it's another nice event. It's getting to be spring, guys, so that's always fun. All right, and any questions about any of those?
I was approached by somebody the other day about maybe using that BIDC property for allowing them to practice soccer or any of those types of things. That's something you probably,
Absolutely.
we need to let them know that we're willing to work with them on that.
The purpose of it is for the citizens to use. And yes, I think that they should be allowed to use it for soccer or whatever athletic events that they want to use it for practice, or whatever.
Sure.
I think studies communicate that and get it set up, it should be acceptable.
I'll let them know.
Okay, that's all I have, sir.
Okay, well, let's just drop down to the bottom to number 7 and Fire Chief, if you'll come up and talk about our dilemma we have with our vehicle.
Yeah, in August of last year, we ordered a Tahoe, and I understand it's still possible to get it, but Dodge canceled the state bids on the 2 Dodge trucks that we ordered. So I went out and found another company with the help of Officer Duke, and so we're looking at some Ford F-150s and completely equipped with all the lights, sirens, everything that we need on. The 2 trucks would total $94,235.98. The 2 Dodges were going to be 84 around that. We allowed 84,000, so it's about $10,000 difference in the price because they're not state bid vehicles. And Chevrolet and Ford and Dodge, no one has state bid vehicles right now. I'm proposing buying 2 of those Fords.
How quick can we get them? Did they say?
They said they're supposed to be in October.
Over?
And they were, that's as quick as they could get them. And I think they had, at one time, they had 40 Dodges and 40 Fords, the way I understand it. They sold them all except for, I think they had 6 Fords left. I mean, get into it pretty quick if I can. I probably still there. The money comes from
Fire tax.
fire tax.
Not the fire tax that we just passed, 40%. Comes from the county fire
Just
tax.
8 cent county sales tax. We get a portion of it. And we have approximately $300,000 in there. So it's not a matter of money.
Do we need to make a motion to do anything about the other ones that we had already?
No, we'll just,
They just go away?
yeah, I'll just make it.
I'll make a motion to allow the fire department to buy their 2 trucks they need.
Second.
So we're also gonna, in that motion, we have an ordinance to waive competitive bidding. Okay. I'm just gonna add it to the same. Now we'll call roll. Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
And one other thing, we're in the process of looking to replace the 94 Ford truck. So we'll probably bring you something next month on that. That money also comes from county pays it, so.
the next item, we'll move up to number 6 on your agenda. It'll be the resolution for 1811 Edgewood Cove. Should have that in front of you, 2022-03. And that's the resolution to remove the house from the property. At the time of the passage of this, they'll have 30 days. If they do not remove it, then the city will remove the place of lien on the property.
Motion to read the resolution by title only.
Second.
Have a motion and second to read resolution 2022-03 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A resolution 2022-03, a resolution declaring certain building houses and other structures located at 1811 Edgewood Cove, parcels that are listed in the city of Beebe, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owners to abate said nuisance and for other purposes. Have a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second to adopt resolution number 2022-03. I'm gonna call the roll. Tracy,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Annie,
Yes.
and Alderman Woods is absent.
Okay, let's move to ordinance 2022-07. Rezone for 104 West College.
Motion to read by title only.
I have a motion and second to read ordinance number 2022-07 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 2022-07, an ordinance to amend the zoning map with regards to the zoning classification of specific land areas within the city of Beebe, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2022-07 by Alderman Anthony with a second by Alderman Lightfoot. I'm going to call the roll. Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony.
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney. I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So moved.
Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
I'm not seeing the emergency clause. Did I miss it?
Yes.
Down the very bottom.
Emergency.
Yes, so, sorry. Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Okay. Okay, I have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Call the roll. Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney. Ordinance passes. Next one will be 2022-08. This is to waive the competitive bidding for the compact track loader with grapple, thank you, that you all approved, and we have already purchased. Is that not correct? So we are good. Haven't met since then.
read by title.
So,
Okay, I have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2022-08 by title only. All those in favor? Any opposed? An ordinance to waive the requirements of competitive bidding for the purchase of a compact track loader with grapple, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
So moved.
Second,
Alderman Lightfoot,
yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So moved.
Second,
Alderman Lightfoot,
yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
Where is that?
There is not one on here. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I was seeing earlier.
Yes, there is.
Next one here on
Number
mine.
4.
On 08.
Yep, I'm sorry, it just doesn't say
It just doesn't say emergency clause.
four, item number 4. I didn't see it either. Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
Yes.
Second.
Sorry about that, guys. Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
We're waiting on the engineer.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and approve the P and Z, or gonna present the P and Z minutes to you for you all to approve. These are from February 1st. I mean, everything that we've already done, all the stuff that was in the minutes, I believe. Is that right? Jane?
That's correct.
Okay,
Motion to accept the minutes of the planning and zoning.
I have a motion and second to approve the minutes of February 1st, 2022. All those in favor? Any opposed? Can you entertain you?
Well, we
Yes.
can take, pardon me.
It feels good to be the queen. So I'm just gonna let you know what's happening is that the clerks were having a big international meeting. The clerk treasurers, and we're having a big international meeting in May that we are hosting. And we're very excited. And one of the nights is gonna be denim and diamond evening. So I didn't have a tiara, so one of the clerks brought one.
Mayor, our engineer should be here in a moment. Start a discussion on this. I can answer a lot of questions. I don't have the drawings and all.
Have you checked him, see how far out he is?
He's on his way.
Don't know. We don't know where he's at.
He was in board at a planning and zoning meeting up there. He's on his way.
Well, I can bore you with a few financial figures for a minute. And we can take a break, and maybe we'll be here. So I'll do that. Ending the year of 2021, city financial statements are as follows. Our final revenue was $6,820,976. Our final expenses was $6,772,866 with a balance of $48,110. So we were very close on our budget. Our major revenue for the city consists of the following categories, and it's the city sales tax, 1.25%, which generates $2,031,173,000 per year. Our county sales tax, which is our portion of it, generates $1,365,071. Your property tax generates $164,036. Your state turnback, $122,238. Your franchise tax, $296,192. Your occupation license is $6,836. These are the revenue categories that fund the administration. You will notice that all the categories, when we get run through it, that sanitation is the only self-sufficient. And it should be run just like a business. You should not be giving away the services. And it is very close also. So the city does not make money on sanitation. So when you look at each department, we'll break this down into salaries. So we'll see that look at each department. In administration, we have 9 employees. Salaries to include insurance, Arkansas Public Retirement, Medicare, Social Security, and workers' compensation for a total of $486,411 for administration expense. Animal control, we have 2 full-time employees, including all benefit expenses. Their expenses is 100 salary expenses is $124,135. District court has 4 clerks, 1 bailiff, 1 community service for a total salary expenditure of $253,863. Our fire department now will have 6 employees for a total salary and benefit expenditure of $305,211. Our library has 4 employees, city salary expenditure of $31,362. Our park, we have 3 full-time employees, total salary expenditure of $138,333. And we also have seasonal employees at $32,000. Our police department, we have 18 full-time officers, 4 part-time officers, 4 dispatchers, 1 clerk, with a total salary expenditure with benefit expense of $1,418,662. Our street department, we have 4 employees salary with benefit expense, $235,663. The city average is 53 full-time employees, 8 part-time, 14 seasonal. Total employee salaries with contract labor is estimated at close to $3 million. Our administration revenue is $5,306,872 with an expenditure of $2,107,312. Animal control revenue for the year, you look, as I was saying earlier, there's very few departments that are self-sufficient. They can't be. We have to operate with or generate with our tax dollars. Animal control revenue, they brought in $18,271, and their expenditure was $156,566. In your cemetery, revenues of $6,525 and an expenditure of $30,616. District Court, revenue is $446,034. Expenditures, $431,980, very close. The library generates no revenue with an expenditure of $44,288.
And Mayor, you may want to emphasize, since we have people in the audience, that the county pays most of the salary for the libraries.
Yes, the
That's why
county,
there's
the
such a
county
big
helps
difference.
pay for the salaries in the library. Your park generate $42,237. Expenditure to run the park, include ball park, and the maintenance of the smaller parks, $341,976. So I say that people to understand that here, well, I pay $45 to play. Our $45 should be enough money to run the park. It's not. You see, we generate, on a good year, if we had a good year of $100,000 in park, and that would be through gate, through concession, through everything, like $100,000, which is going to cost you $350,000 for the expenditure. Police department, our police department generated $100,004. And our police department expenditure is $1,934,085. Sanitation revenue brought in $1,013,618 with an expenditure of $992,524. So pretty close. In our street fund, our revenue was $781,493 with an expenditure of $1,057,147. Now we take into account that we had some rescue money, American Rescue money, and we also took some money from the general fund and from our savings to pay the difference. So the final $6,820,976 in revenue, $6,772,866 in expenditures, with a balance of $48,110. That's how we ended our year. Now, currently, we have money for emergencies. And I can look back and tell you that one time we had 5 cents. And another time we were losing money. Today we have for our emergency general fund balances $2,400,000. So we're managing our finances. That's pretty much an assessment of our accounting for last year. So we'll take a short break. Okay. We'll allow Wayne Rathner to speak before we take a break.
I'll be quick, Mayor. I've come to speak to you about a few things, mainly price of diesel fuel and the effect on our company. Right now, we're paying about double what we were about 18 months ago. I I've got all kinds of fuel prices, this and that. If you look at diesel, right now, I think here it's $4.92 a gallon. When I started this contract, it was $2.16 a gallon. 18 months ago, it's $2.02 a gallon. And the impact that has on our company is my trucks burn about 4 gallons an hour. We keep over by hour because miles don't do us any good, because my trucks go and stop to stop. So he doesn't travel a whole lot of miles, but he's running his PTOs, pumps and all that. So his RPMs are always constantly up. We burn about 4 gallons an hour. Right now, the impact over the last year, fuel's up over $2 a gallon. For me, that's $8 an hour. You know, I spend 150 hours a week here alone. You multiply that out, that's about $1,200. Do it over a month, you're looking over $5,000. So I wanted to come here and talk our contract. We set $3.50. It said I would be able to come in and talk about a fuel adjustment, $3.50. That was, like I said, when we started, fuel was around $2.16, $2.70. So it had to go up $1.25, which was almost unheard of until the recent events, our administration, and how they handled this situation. So I'm coming to ask for a fuel surcharge increase. I've worked it out, I've done the math, and I can share how I did it, how it came to be. But fuel's going to go up and down. And as fuel goes up, I would charge a percentage based on 25 cents per gallon. You can go up a percentage for every 25 cents fuel goes up a gallon. As fuel comes down, then the surcharge would decrease. If it went below 350, it would leave. So I can explain the science behind it. I can explain what I'm asking for. I can show you fuel. I can show you what I paid 18 months ago at 202 and what I paid last week at 512. So when you talk about that's significant to us. Right now, year over year, just for the month of March, last year we spent right around $8,000. We're going to be around $17,000 this year. You think about that, that's $9,000 off our bottom line with no fault of our own. We've gone through pandemics. We haven't missed a beat here. I've gone through minimum wage going up from $8 to $11. Never came to you, never said anything, but this fuel is eating us alive, and we depend on running. I think it could be accomplished without raising rates right now. I think you can do that. We pay a 10% franchise fee. I don't think we'd ever reach that. The only way we'd ever get to that 10% or whatever, it would have to be $6.25 a gallon. I don't think it's going to get there. So I think it could be done without raising rates, but it would impact some of the revenues the city gets from the franchise to cover the fuel rate. But I'd like to ask for it quick. February, I was double. I'm going to be 9,000 higher this month in expenses. I'm going to every town and discussing this. Because right now, it's something I can't get away from. I have all kinds of stuff. I have all kinds of fuel.
What does our contract specifically say about?
It says if fuel reaches $3.50, we can add a fuel surcharge. We can come and request from the city council to get some relief and charge a fuel surcharge starting at $3.50 a gallon, which was at the time $1.30 higher than we were paying. We never thought we'd get it, to be honest. And we haven't seen anything like this since 2008 when they took the sulfur out.
What does it say about fuel surcharge and fuel amount, percentage?
It did not. It did not. I took a look at something and I'll tell you how I did it. For every quarter that the fuel goes up, I'm asking for 1%. The reason being, you'll have to bear with me on this. Right now, my franchise fee back to the city is about $7,000 a month. That's what I pay back to the city. I spend about 150 hours a week picking up garbage in Beebe. at a truck burns $4 per gallon of fuel an hour. So for every quarter, the fuel goes up, that costs me $1 an hour for that truck. So as it goes up, that's 150 hours, $150 per week. You multiply by 4.33 weeks, and you're looking at about $640, which is 1% of that bill. So that's what I did with fuel surcharge. Waste management, yes, sir, per month. Waste management goes 12.5 cents. They go overboard. I know because I put that together. We did it on EBITDA, not on cost. I'm just asking for cost.
So what's the bottom line dollar figure that you're asking for?
It'd be a percentage based on where fuel is. So
That's something calculated.
I've got something kind of calculated, give you all, to give you an idea of what it might be. This is where it would be at today, based on fuel percentage, and then what that would be, how that would affect the city. This one's right here. Right now, fuel. And I've got stuff from the Department of Energy I can share with you where fuel is. Fuel today is on the second page. We pay add 3 Gulf Coast fuel. I've also got examples of what I have paid this month, a few years ago. And I can explain anything on this. The first sheet I gave you is my
I'm not
recommendation.
asking the right question to get
Like the percentage,
if you,
total, right?
when you raise this, what's the dollar amount at the end of the month?
Well, the 1% would be $630. The 1%.
So at the current rate, at 475 would be 6%, which is 3780.
$37.80 a month would be the relief I would get from that.
Would be what?
$37.80 would be added back in. This is what I would charge. Once I send my bill, 70 grand,
And
I
you
take
say
out,
add it back into the,
I would add it back in after the franchise fees are taken out. So if my bill is 70 grand, I take off 10%. So it's 63,000. I would take that 63,000 and multiply it by 6%, which would be 37.80. If fuel goes down below 350 or goes down to 430 next month, then I would only add 4% until it goes back to the 350. This would change each month depending on the price of fuel. And I'm not trying to make it overcomplicated. I was trying to make it as simple as I could so that the ladies don't have to sit here and try to, there's not adjustments every month. But when I send out a bill, I've got 3,100 residentials at this rate. If I have to change that every month.
well, I think for the
3,100
year,
prices.
the city generated $20,000 in revenue basically from sanitation. 20,000 over expenses. So when we adjust this, now where are we gonna be for the year?
Wayne, you need to explain how you do your franchise fees. That's what's confusing
Sanitation.
people.
I think it's, when I send a bill out, I
I
add
understand
up residential, which is about 35,000. Commercial, which is about 35, so that's 70,000 is what my bill is. You, I take off 10%. So I take off 7,000, so I send you a bill for 63,000 for $70,000 worth of work.
But those franchise fees are counted into the city's general revenue. To make our, yes, your franchise fees are part of our revenue.
then that would be 85,000 a year. $12 months, 7 grand. Now, that's on my side. Now, I don't know what you're including in sanitation. If it's just green environmental, then it would have to be plus 85,000. You might be including yard waste, I don't know.
Well, I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just trying to see where we need an adjustment, if we need an adjustment, if this is 3780.
That would be about 60 cents a home a month.
Hmm?
That would be about 60 cents a month for the residential piece. You'd have to increase them about 60 cents, which is about 15 cents a service. To stay flat. There would be a small adjustment on the commercial side. But for the residential side, which is about half of that, it would be about 60 cents a home. But if fuel goes down below 350, there is no surcharge. Who knows? I mean, you ask the president, he says, oh, they'll go down by the end of the year. So I'm not going to get political, but that was the problem. When he spoke the other day, fuel went up 90 cents a gallon from before he started talking. An hour later, when he got through, Murphy held their guys in, held the trucks in. So I'm not trying to get political, but
No,
I am very passionate about this. This affects my family.
$20,000 cushion between revenue and expense. And again, I run a business now, I get a fuel charge on everything that comes in the door.
Right. Everybody is. They have to. And it would be passed, it could be passed on to the consumer. I mean, I have that price list in the country, but it's about 60 cents for the residents. And then it's a percentage based on the service level of the commercial. But if you have a 2-yard at 68 bucks, it may be 71. So that's how you make it. But I am asking you to consider what I put for you, because it is just cost. It's nothing else on top of it.
Are you saying we had a $20,000 cushion for the year, Mayor?
That's what I said.
If you do that in 7 months at 37, it's gone. Right?
It's not only gone, after a
Well-
year, we're paying $25,368. If that's correct. Is that what I'm?
Yeah, that's the way I calculate.
Well, we wouldn't be paying him, we just wouldn't be getting,
Well, no, it would go over.
we would, well, it would go over about 5,000, 6,000.
What we allowed in the budget would be about half. Oh,
Guess I'm confused.
It's-
Because I was thinking that you were saying, this is what I was thinking. I'm not a math scholar. I was thinking that he wasn't directly thinking about taking the money directly, but the surcharge, you wanted to get that percentage of that. So like if he sent Carol a check, he takes the surcharge out first. Am I correct?
Well, actually, what do you want to do? Because it would
Hey,
be,
surcharge would be last going in.
Yeah, he would just pay.
surcharge would be after the franchise.
He would take it out of what he's
Okay,
paying.
that's what I think. I'm not good at math. Trying to make you that. That's what he was talking about.
So the way Wayne does it, you know, some of our companies, they pay us a franchise fee and I get a check once a year or once a quarter. The way Green Environmental does it is they take their franchise fee out every billing. So the bill, like you said, is 70,000, they take their 10%. And then I just pay the bottom line here.
Right.
That's why I
That's the way it was
was
done,
thinking he was taking-
the way it was done with the previous contract.
That's correct, that's what it's done.
So that's what it was.
That's correct.
That's what I was thinking, yeah, that he was taking it out before you got it.
Correct.
And so now you want to take it out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to take the percentage out if it goes up to 6% off the surcharge? Before you.
He's gonna
send it to
increase
Carol?
his billing to something different.
What I'll actually do is, I'll do it just like I'm doing. I'll do the 70,000, I'll take the 10% off, it'd be 63,000. At 63,000, I will charge an increase. What was it, 5%, 6%?
37.
I take that 63,000, multiply it by 6%.
I'm saying.
If I were to take it off and say only pay 4%, then that's about a negative $600 a month to the city. I didn't do it that way. I did it based on what I've been getting. Mayor, I don't think, when's the last time y'all had an increase? I think it was contract 2011. On the sanitation. You did not have one at the start of our contract. We were actually less than the previous, what they were charging. Commercially, so it's less. So I don't think there's been an increase in 10 or 11 years. I think it was a 2011 contract with Waste Management when they went out with cards. I know nobody likes hearing this. This is fact.
Everybody. With everybody.
It's a fact with everybody. Well, I know, well, you know, there's things I haven't asked, but I raised my drivers $2 an hour. Because they can't, you know, they're seeing it at the grocery store, they're seeing a fuel pump coming to work. I mean, it's everywhere. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just trying to cover the fuel side. The other, I'm okay with. We have good workers. Is there any questions on the thinking, what, or is the concern?
If it went to $6 next week, or 7, that's 3 months. We're getting that. Can we do that till March of next year, and that might come down, it might not.
Right. Understand it, but I'm gonna tell you, but I couldn't survive.
Right.
Facts are facts on that, because we went to 6. My calls, you know, I know what it did to me at 5. So,
I understand.
you know, I mean, it's a fact, it probably become a pass on cost.
And I would like to see it done exactly as the contract specifies. You say doesn't specify.
This is a 350 I request. Fuel surcharge. And that's what I have done.
It did specify
It doesn't specify. It doesn't specify, do I do it per account, which is about 3,500 accounts. That's why I wasn't trying to do that, because then I'd have to go in, add 6% to the 1,150, or whatever I'm charging. You know what I mean? When you take it to wherever that that'd be another, what, 1,225. Maybe go change every home.
Well, you know, it's gonna end up. If it doesn't go back down and it goes up, then you're gonna see a rate increase on sanitation services.
It's a service we gotta provide either way.
And we don't try to make money on sanitation services, but we try to stay close with our residents. So, it gets into a deficit, we'll have to raise. But y'all, how y'all agree to handle the fuel surcharge? And I realize he needs it.
And right now, I don't think it's fair to raise the sanitation rate. Customer rate.
Not with the way that everything's going, like so unstable with volatile out there. There ain't no telling what it could be in a week.
Would we be better to put a certain number on it so that we know that we can not push over that cushion we have of 20,000, which essentially is less than 2,000 a month. But that's still not
Yeah, as it is right now, that's
Yeah.
not study.
gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be out, yeah. It's less than 2,000 a month.
So this is showing a way to do it, to try it without an increase, but I was doing it purely on the franchise.
Right, but if, so if you're paying 10% at 70,000, wouldn't that be?
85,000.
Yeah, it's 85,000 franchise fee, you just want to pay.
But I don't know what that franchise fee is earmarked for.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, the simplest thing would be for me to say, do this, and here be right, I can figure it that way, but I was trying to do it less
Based
invasive,
what you already have, what you know.
what I know,
Right.
not, but I don't know the inner workings of
So
where
you're saying you know you pay this 10%, which is the 7,000. No matter what, you goes to $6, 11%, you're still covering that with what you're already putting in. If you go to 69, you're already paying 7%.
but I don't know what that is,
that franchise.
what that's covered by, but
He's already paying 7,000. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's paying that to us already. So
But you
he's
may
paying
have-
7,000 in 12 months. He's paying us 85. That's 7,000. And so if we cut that to, if it's at 6%, you're gonna cut that in half. At the rate we're actually a little more than that, so you're gonna end up
actually only did the surcharge on my net,
on net. Okay.
not on the first. Or I didn't,
I see.
that's why 1% would be 630. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's a service we're providing.
But if it goes down, then it comes down. I don't know. And we'll tell you, nobody knows. Nobody thought it would jump $2 in a year. And you see
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
it goes up $6, you start out.
The thing I said, that's-
Yeah, but we can absorb some of it without putting it on our constituents.
That's what we're doing.
What do you think?
See where it's at. Can we get that going?
I'm here
I
tomorrow.
mean, it's either we soak it up or the consumer soaks it up, we just tell them, tough luck, you know, and that's, that's not really fair to him. But oh, yeah. I was not at that.
But, you know, what the customer is going to see, since this comes with the water bill, you know, they already know that we have raised the water rates, and their bill's already going up.
That's right.
And if we add another increase to that bill,
Well, it's gonna, yeah, they're pretty, so,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to, I mean, we're gonna have to.
I think we're
Right now,
gonna need it.
what we have in our general fund, and we need to just, I think we should just do it and come back and do it now. And come back and look at it here in a couple months and see what it's
See where we're
costing.
at.
And just go from there. That sounds like a good deal.
I agree.
At least that gives us a little bit of time to see if it's gonna go up or down and adjust it.
It could go down, but we don't know that.
You want to see it by a month, 3 months, 5 months? Or-
We can do a monthly. but
I think we look at it monthly.
I'll give you the report month.
And then we'll know where we're at. I mean, because, this is gonna blow the budget up, but if we look at it in a month's time, we'll kind of.
I can tell you what the impact will be.
I think that will be helpful.
I think that's probably what we need.
Maybe not. Not letting the people take it.
Y'all got something else. I don't know what to do.
So, I mean, if you got, that water bill's gonna go up again.
Oh, it's already,
Yeah, but it goes up every so often, increase.
I think my dog's turning my faucet on when I go to work. It's hot.
Then it was just.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like-
telling you, man. It's-
You said you're-
I don't know what's going on. Vegas, Vegas, I don't need to talk to my wife. It's hot.
It says at 350, reaches 350, that you can ask for it, and the decision is solely based upon the city council. which is
And I can't come back for you. If it's,
So
that's the reason I put together something that can
it's just
work.
strictly, what his proposal to you is, and, you can accept it or modify it. Would you want to look at it? I think I heard y'all talking about that.
I think we did definitely, I mean, he can run a report monthly. I don't want to get to December.
Every 2 months or 3 months or something like that.
I'm here every month. I can do it as often as the council deems necessary.
I think, yeah, because if we start getting up into that 9, 8, 9, 10% range, then we're gonna have to relook at it. And he'll know, we'll all know, you drive by a gas pump every day.
Yeah.
You look at the diesel price. So we'll
Look at
all
the
know what's
premium.
coming. But I agree that he shouldn't.
It shouldn't have to eat all
just
of it.
literally eating everything. It's not his fault. It's not nobody's fault.
I think you guys have to do this back, you know, visit it, revisit it on, he said a monthly basis, I'm sure with that.
Okay,
So I want to make, we need to put that in motion, we accept the fuel escalator clause as written.
You know, on a monthly basis.
Wouldn't look at it on a monthly basis.
Second.
Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Yes.
Alderman Harley.
Yes.
okay, I think we're down to planning and zoning. Y'all want to take a break?
Yeah, let's-
We take like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Before we take a break, I just want to say on Ann Copeland, it's not a Copeland, and you guys approved our rezone for West College. So we just want to personally thank you for letting us be a part of DB a little bit longer, and thank you for your consideration and all the work that's done. We appreciate you guys.
Welcome, thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
We are back from break, and for the record, Shannon Woods, and Alderman Woods has joined me now.
We don't have a minute from planning and zoning, do we? We don't have a minute from the planning and zoning stating exactly their words and recommendations. Their recommendation was to, do you have them? Okay.
Those haven't been approved yet,
No,
No, but,
no, they have not.
no, but they're written. Could we
Yeah,
get,
they are
could we
written.
get the written? one?
Yeah.
Funds still the whole time.
What I was saying, the planning and zoning is to have a written recommendation to you when they send it out. I can quickly hit on it a little bit. He's got the minutes. Okay, from the planning and zoning, they held their proper public hearing. And they made a recommendation to the city council. Normally, we would not have another public hearing as a city council. Lady back here was put on the agenda and asked to speak. And so we're gonna go ahead and let her speak. We need to make sure in the future that our public hearings don't come over and have another public hearing to the city council. Rules of the procedure would be normally that they will make a recommendation to the city council, and you can approve the recommendation, deny the recommendation, or send it back for further study. But since she was allowed to be, we'll go ahead and let her speak.
Thank you very much, Mayor. My name is Sarah Henderson. I was at the planning and zoning meeting actually on the first, and I did ask a lot of questions that weren't clearly answered. I appreciate you letting me speak here now. I just have a couple of things to say in regards to this. First and foremost, this vote isn't about whether DD needs apartments or not. It's about the location, the land, and if rezoning it will benefit the community as a whole. The zoning code book was developed to ensure our hometown is developed in a manner that promotes public health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare for all citizens in the community. Section 14.102, the purpose statement in the code book, states that it is to promote in accordance with present and future needs, the safety, order, convenience, prosperity, and general welfare of the citizens of Beebe, Arkansas, and to provide for efficiency and economy in the process of development appropriate for use of land and for helpful and convenient distribution of population, for good civic design and arrangement for adequate public utilities and facilities. The land that is being considered for rezoning is visible in all directions of the major intersection in and out of our town. Currently, this intersection is the heart of our community where 22,700 vehicles per day travel through that intersection. This is a prime area for new businesses in the future to develop, to draw patrons in to shop in our community and towards the downtown district. The Win-Win subdivision that is already developed has over 300 homes and more are continuing to be built right now. The majority of the homes in that subdivision are families with multiple drivers. Adding 160 to over 300 more units in that area will continue to add more traffic hazards in an already congested neighborhood. The residents of Wynwood already have difficulty exiting the residential area because both Center and 367 are main routes to travel for members of our community and people that pass through to our nearby communities. Belleville Flea Market on 367 congests the exit on Dogwood every single Saturday morning, making it nearly impossible for those residents. The rezoning of this prime commercial property to R3 will increase traffic hazards in an already congested area of the city, will limit prime commercial space within the heart of our city, where double our population travels, and will congest an already heavily populated residential area. Rezoning this land goes against the entire purpose statement of our code book and our plan map. Our zoning map is to protect this area and not create an overpopulation or add traffic hazards. Mayor Robertson said it best in his letter to the community when he said, "You as a citizen and voter have the power to determine the direction of our community. Tonight, your vote determines that direction for all of our community here today and in the future. So please consider the hazards and safety and concerns that you are making for a large portion of the residents in this community and for business holders in this community by changing over 21 acres of land to R3. And my I add, I know Mr. Lindsay, you're the developer, there's over 51 acres of land ready for C2 or residential on 64 in a great location, that's for sale. So this is not the only land available in the city for an awesome development such as this one. So please consider the location. Thank you very much for your time.
The request, as I understand, is for change from C2 to R3. And the recommendation is to change C2 to R3 from the planning and zoning. Now, as I understand the rules and regulations, your option is to approve it, deny it, or send it back for further study. Now, with approval, this would change it to an R3 zoning district, which has certain things that can be constructed in R3 districts. And multifamily housing is one of those. But rezoning this, I need to make sure that we're all on the same page. That rezoning this to R3 is not granting approval for Cornerstone Place, but rather just rezoning the property. Then Cornerstone Place would have to be brought before the planning and zoning. And they would have to meet all the rules and regulations of building codes, fire codes, and so on, before they could be granted approval for building permit. Everybody agree to that. That's where I want to make sure that we have no misunderstanding. Clemens?
Council members, Mayor, appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, and you're absolutely right. What we are here about tonight is purely land use. But to give you an idea as to what we would like to eventually develop, I have that handout that I gave you right before the meeting, and they kind of give you a little bit of an idea where we're trying to go with this. If we are granted an approval tonight, we will begin working on the site plan. We'll be working on the layout of where the buildings will be on the property, where the water, the sewers, the streets, the drainage, the electrical, everything's got to go. But even at that, after we get it drawn up, we have to bring it back to the city to meet your regulations. And if there's something that you don't like, that is your opportunity to tell us, we don't want this, we want you to do it differently. But I give you this tonight just to kind of give you an idea of where we're heading, as opposed to just saying, we want to build something on this property. You now have a general idea of what we're looking at. But basically, I know you haven't had much time to look this over. If you allow me, I'd like to take about 2 minutes to kind of introduce the project if I could. Thank you, Mayor. This is Cornerstone, tentatively called Cornerstone Place. 2.136 acres, 21.36 acres directly south of Walmart. The goal of this project is to provide a quality residence for individuals at or above retirement age. I have a picture here that shows what we're looking at doing on the exterior of these buildings, brick. Garage provided for each residence. These will be single story, because again, we are trying to get that older group. On the inside, these are what you would be considered upscale. They're not market rate. Will drive a higher rental rate. Ground molding, hardwood, and tile floors. Modern kitchen, solid surface countertops. I don't have time to make a complete detailed list, but I wanted to give you an idea of what amenities we're looking at. Modern bathroom and ADA compliance in specific residences. Something else we want to provide to kind of get us a little bit of a community atmosphere. Landscaping will be provided for all residences. The landscape service will be provided by the owner. The people that live there will not be out to cost for landscaping. Recreational areas, we're looking at what they call pickleball courts, basketball courts, water feature with a walking trail, and an outdoor exercise stations along the walking trail. If you don't know what pickleball is, it's kind of like a mix between tennis and ping pong. I've never played it, but looking at these pictures, I think it would be a lot of fun. And then we have footprints of the models that we plan on building. And then at the very end, let's talk about the density of development. Whereas the requested zoning of R3, the density will allow us to go up to 16 residences per acre. To develop this project, we're going to concentrate on providing a much less density and more green space to make the project more attractive now and in the future. We're looking at instead of 16 units per acre, we're looking at 7.77 per acre, so less than 8. So we're going to be about half the density of what we could do. And again, I think the reason that is so important is because, again, we are going single story. We've also asked you some privacy, because it was a 2-story building. Around the perimeter, people lose some privacy. In this case, it will be single story. I know I'm jumping the gun on this, but wouldn't it make more sense to put in a swimming pool instead of a basketball court.
It's an idea. It's an idea.
I noticed in here, it talks
That's a
about,
very good idea.
the developer being interested in making it a gated community.
Right. And I don't know that we can do that. That's something that, you know, at the site plan level, which is what we would go to next, we would discuss it with the city. What I have seen in the past is gates are wonderful, but when you put a gate up there, the maintenance of the street and everything behind it becomes on the property owner. And that's just something we need to work out with the city at that time. We'll find out.
Are y'all going to extend Commerce Drive,
Which one is?
runs right there by Walmart? Will that,
That Cornerstone Drive?
Cornerstone.
I think it's Cornerstone Drive. What's that Commerce? Cornerstone Drive.
is it,
Cornerstone Drive. Yes, Cornerstone Drive will be extended into our property, yes.
So will that be the only, and I know that it was talked about in the planning and zoning, but will that be the only?
We would like to find a secondary way out of this during the planning stage, because it's always good to have a little redundancy. If you have an accident there on Cornerstone Drive, it's always nice to have a second way in and out. However, that's something that again, we will discuss when we get into the site plan. But we do have options. The property owner to the east of that little diagonal right there has already agreed to provide easement in the event we want to put a secondary road. But again, that comes up with the next phase of the site phase.
How come you're wanting to rezone it, not just leave it like it is and get a conditional use permit?
Doing our research, we found out that we wanted to build these to residential standards. If we got a special use permit, we have to build everything, even though it's residential, to commercial standards. Because the standards go with the zoning, the special use doesn't change that. So it creates a little bit of an issue from a cost standpoint, because we have to do certain things in a commercial building we don't have to do in a
What
residential.
specifically would change if you instead of getting that, mini commercial standard?
James and I talked about that.
We have commercial building standards written into our code. We cannot regulate residential. According to this plan, a city cannot regulate what residential really looks like. But we can regulate what a commercial building looks like.
So I guess it's kind of the individuality of the development could be somewhat jeopardized if we went commercial standards as opposed to residential.
Like I say, it'd be a cost factor. It'd be a cost factor.
Pretty large cost factor.
Yeah. I would say so.
So you can't, you're saying you can't build this or these for the same price if it's zoned different because of our regulations, the difference in commercial and residential?
I mean, what are the differences between the commercial regs and the residential regs in the city?
How would you, what would we do to enforce this differently if you're building these residentially in a commercial district?
Well, I mean, there's specific rules written in the code book as to what they should look like, how they should be built, as opposed to no regulations on residential.
Would you say the cost differential, I mean, just spitballing, cost differential between residential and commercial would be 15–20% more?
I would not even make a guess.
Well, I think y'all getting ahead of yourself, because I'm not sure, but I thought we was just supposed to just rezone it. They have to come back before.
we do.
So y'all have gotten off way further than gates and. downtown playing
No,
basketball.
I just asked about the zone.
No, I'm just saying, they, all the stuff.
So does it say in our zoning book, Mr. Grice, that we can't, that you could build these residents, multifamily residents in a commercial with conditional use?
I don't know. I'd have to look to see that specific question because that's a little bit more. Never thought about that and looking and seeing where we were, what the difference is between get a conditional use permit bound by exactly. You know, those
Well, I would just
understandings.
think this would be the conditions of the permit.
See, the thing about that, the planning is on it, special conditions, so if they've already passed it, and they try to go get it, the planning is on it is that.
Well, the planning and zoning has the ability to create a conditional use permit.
No, they already,
Will
they get to vote on it and everything, and they've already passed it, am I not right?
well, they recommended us to rezone it to residential as opposed to doing the conditional use.
Planning and zoning didn't address a conditional use permit in this. They only addressed rezoning it specifically to R3,
So
which
apparently
doesn't
they-
require a conditional use permit.
Something I.
Something that I really think that we really need to concentrate on here, really consider. You know, when you have different zonings in the town, basically, they're kind of tiers. When you have a residential piece of property, you want to go commercial. You're opening up the opportunity or the possibility of basically opening up Pandora's box to allow something on a piece of property that is zoned residential by letting it go commercial. What we're looking at here is we're trying to close that box up. We're going from commercial to residential. So therefore, I mean, it's kind of unusual to do that, but that's the approach. We'd like to protect, you know, the investment that's going to be made on this property. So anyway, just kind of an unusual situation. We're kind of we're making it more stringent than less stringent, the way it is right now. And please, everybody understand, I didn't mean to get off into the weeds about, Shannon and I talked about gates, we talked about these other things. Those are items that we will have to address at the site plan level, and that will come back before the city. We have to meet your regulations. So you will see this again and again and again. This is just an opportunity to get started, really, is what we're looking at.
What you're showing here for a residence is it's fully brick, not gables, good driveways. What we're looking at right there would be a nicer than what the commercial would require. If you were talking about building some certain facade, siding, brick, this is certainly nicer. But would you agree with that?
Oh, yes, sir, I know that.
And there's still, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an engineer, but, and I don't know a whole lot about all the land stuff, but there's still a part of this property that will stay commercial, correct?
But yes, in fact, if you will look over at what we're calling the vicinity map, that which we have outlined in the yellow line,
Yeah.
that is the only thing that is up for rezone. The property up here on the left side of Cornerstone Drive, that is all still commercial, and that's not being rezoned. It's just this back up here
That, to me, that would be the prime commercial property. The 21.36 acres. You know, who would want to put a commercial business behind Walmart? You know?
Well, no one has for the past
Exactly.
almost 9 years.
Exactly. So to me, this would be a much better use for the land than commercial.
So we making a motion to change it from commercial to R3? That was
Correct.
Or just to
They do the
accept
R3.
planning and zoning's recommendation.
Yeah.
Either way. way it makes sense.
I'm making the motion.
To accept the planning and zoning recommendation.
Yes, unless somebody else got something. What'd you say, Carol? You need something?
Sure.
Huh? You'll be handling
I'll
all this stuff?
second the motion. Yes.
Thank you, Randy.
Longer than 9 years, that's just how long, That's my house is right next to that property. And we've been there going on 9 years, and it's been vacant, so.
At least if there's a development on it, it could be mowed.
Exactly, and not have raccoons and possums come visit every night. That'd be nice. And feral.
Yes,
There's a whole herd of them. I'm not even kidding you.
Are these plans homes to be purchased or rented?
I believe that the plan right now is for those to be rented. And the two smarter guys here, smarter than me, are sitting on the roll back here.
Where's your secondary road gonna come out exactly? Are you gonna go out by Bill Burns or where?
I'm not familiar with that. I can tell you that you see the little diagonal that kind of goes
Right.
from the southwest.
But you're not gonna hit Wynwood from
Oh, no.
nowhere?
No, we'd go out to the west.
Where we at?
I made a motion to accept the planning and zoning recommendation of rezoning, and I thank Mr. Lightfoot second.
Right. We have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation. Is there any other discussion? So go roll.
So this is not to adopt the ordinance, this is just to accept the recommendation.
Well, yeah, we need to adopt the ordinance.
I have a motion by Alderman Anthony to accept the recommendation of the planning and zoning and to read ordinance number 2022-09 by title only.
Yes.
Okay, with a second by Alderman Lightfoot. Alderman Woods. Alderman Anthony.
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot, I'm sorry, Tracy.
Yes.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
Apparently I don't like the middle guys this evening. Alderman Goff.
I've got to join the property.
Motion passes.
I gotta do my,
Huh?
I gotta do my stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Ordinance number 2022-09, an ordinance to amend the zoning map with regard to the zoning classification of a specific land area within the city of Beebe, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony.
Yes.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Goff.
Same.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony.
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Same.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot,
Yes.
Alderman Anthony,
Yes.
Alderman Duggar,
Yes.
Alderman Goff,
Same.
Alderman Mahoney.
Yes.
That passes.
Thank you, council. We appreciate it. Anybody have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.